Coming into the season, the Clippers were expected to be one of the best teams in the league. They finished 5th in a difficult Western Conference last season, despite Kawhi missing considerable time. This year, Kawhi is finally healthy and they added a bunch of really good players to their lacking bench. Brook Lopez, CP3, Bradley Beal, John Collins. On paper, it looked like they finally had the right mix of star power, depth, and experience to make a run. Now, I realize the irony in saying that with the Clippers because it has happened a couple of times, but let's move on. A few games in, it's been rough. The Clippers are off to a shaky start, and honestly, it's been kind of confusing to watch. So in this video, let's go over the red flags and green flags for the Clippers so far, and why I think they can still pull it together. Before we get into it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, but if your answer is no.
If your answer is no, then tonight, the dream dies.
Alright, let's start off with the red flags. Number one has to be the defense. The defense is the first thing that jumps out. Now, if you just look at the box score like the Warriors game, you might think, oh, they only gave up 96 points. That's actually pretty solid. But if you actually watch the game, you know the Warriors missed a ton of open looks. Like, guys were out of position, the transition D was a mess. And there are possessions where it honestly looked like they had no idea who was meant to be guarding who. To be fair, it's not all bad. Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. are bringing exactly what you expect them to do as excellent perimeter defenders, but as a team, cohesively, the team defense hasn't been there. It hasn't looked great. Then there's the offense. It's not as bad as the defense, but it's still a huge issue. There's just no offensive flow. It's a lot of isolation, a lot of standing around, and almost no off-ball movement. Kawhi is still getting buckets, but it's all tough, contested mid-range shots, and that works against teams like the Trailblazers, but when you're playing against a team like the Warriors who have great perimeter defense and can switch everything, suddenly Kawhi's buckets look even harder. And I know that this has been the system that Ty Lue has run with the Clippers for the past couple of years to great success for the most part, right? But it just doesn't seem realistic to expect Harden and Kawhi to carry the offense every single game with this style at their age. And it doesn't necessarily make sense to do so either. Like, they have a much better roster compared to last year.
You mentioned James and Kawhi getting tired at the same time, and you took them both out at the same time. Is that because did they make that assessment and ask out, or you made that assessment and decided they needed a rest?
They made the assessment.
And another thing that hurts them is the lazy turnovers, bro. The amount of lazy turnovers has been brutal to watch. From people you wouldn't expect to as well, man. Like, CP3 has had a couple of terrible passes in transition, which are just way too easy to read. It's one thing when you're just missing shots, but like giving away easy possessions on turnovers, especially like the Clippers turnovers just don't make sense to me, bro. And yeah, speaking on Chris Paul, just the overall bench unit, man. Like, I love Chris Paul, he's one of my favorite players of all time, but right now he looks scared. Like, he low-key looks washed, and that hurts to say. Against Golden State, there's possessions where he drives, stop in the lane, and just freeze. Like, I don't know, maybe there was miscommunication, maybe he was expecting a screen, but the whole second unit just looks lost out there, and it's up to him. Like, that's why he was brought into the team, was to run that second unit. In fairness, the Warriors did defend him with respect. Like, they guarded him like he was still prime CP3. Like, they put Draymond on him and they were switching every pick and roll. Back then, if the Warriors were switching all the time, Chris Paul would go into his ISO bag, but at his age, he can't really do that anymore. And then also the defense, sometimes he just looks like he's lost in quicksand. Like, I don't know. Like, I watched CP3 with the Spurs all of last season and he just looks so much better there. So hopefully it's just early season rust. They went without Kawhi and Harden on the court to end the third, and the Warriors blew the game wide open. I feel like that shouldn't be a thing. They should have at least one star player on the court for the whole game. And yeah, I don't know what Ty Lue was thinking with that, especially with Bradley Beal being out. Like, I don't think that was a winning choice. The other person I wanted to quickly talk about is Zubac. He's been a mixed bag so far, man. Like, when you look at his counting stats, he's pretty decent so far, but like, just watching him play, he's passing up mismatches in the post. Like, he's putting up some really good shots. He's fumbled a few passes. He's made really bad reads in the short roll. Like, I don't know, Zubac, basically, like, the rest of the team just doesn't look ready for the season so far. And the absolute worst player on the Clippers has to be Bogdanovic, man. Bogey has looked awful to start the season, man. He's literally shooting 0% from the field. How is that even possible? In fairness, he is coming off a hamstring injury, and those are brutal for NBA players, but he just looks exceedingly bad right now. And yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get playing time once Bradley Beal comes back. Overall, maybe it's just rust, but the eye test watching the Clippers has not been great. But enough of the doom and gloom, let's talk about what's actually going right for the Clippers right now. The first thing has to be James Harden. James Harden looks locked in to start the season. He's been the biggest green flag by far. He's been awesome to start the year. He looks energized, he looks confident, and honestly, he's the only one who's really creating like good looks. Like he's the only one really creating good offense. And like I mentioned earlier, the role players are still doing their job. Like Chris Dunn has been excellent. His defense, like he has an immediate impact when he subs in, man. He's able to force a bunch of turnovers and overall just plays really hard, man. And it's an infectious energy when he comes on the court. And yeah, a lot of his points has come from him crashing the glass and creating extra possessions, man. Like Chris Dunn has been really good so far. Derrick Jones Jr. has also been exactly what you'd expect. Like the athleticism, the energy, the defense, it's all been there. And his 3-point shot has been falling so far to start the year. Obviously, he's hot and cold. Like he went perfect against the Suns. Against the Warriors, he wasn't that great, but that's what you expect from him. And he's doing what the team needs him to do. Another big green flag, I almost forgot to talk about him, is John Collins, man. He has been perfect on the Clippers, exactly as advertised. The big debate going around with Clippers fans right now is whether he should start. From what we've seen so far, it feels like he should, but again, like he's also needed with the bench group as well, and like maybe they want him to be the backup to Kawhi. They don't want them to play too much together. I don't know. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are down in the comments, man. Do you think John Collins should start for the Clippers? Batuma's also pretty much played up to his role as well, man. So yeah, they've been guys who have been playing what you'd expect them to be. It's just so much of the team just hasn't. Brook Lopez has also looked really good. His 3-point shot has been falling, but the bench unit is relying on that a little bit too much right now, man. It's just... They're relying a little bit too much on Brook Lopez, man. Like, once you see Brook Lopez going ISO, you just know, yeah, this team doesn't really know what they're doing right now. So, yeah, in conclusion, it's been a rough start. The Clippers offense looks disconnected. The defense isn't where it needs to be, and the energy just hasn't been there. It hasn't clicked. Yeah, they look like a team that's still in the holiday hangover for the most part. You know, when you're going back to school, you're going back to uni, like those first few weeks, like you're not really taking things serious. You're just going with the flow. You're just talking to new people. That's how the Clippers feel right now. But I'm hopeful that once we get to the 10-20 game mark, that they develop some cohesion and start to look like the team we expect them to be. So I'm not hitting the panic button just yet. I've seen a lot of reactionary takes on Twitter. Sell the team, trade Kawhi. Like, guys, let's relax a little bit, man. But overall, what do you guys think? Is this just a slow start, or are the Clippers showing us who they really are? Let me know down in the comments. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe.
If your answer is no, then tonight, the dream dies.
Question about this upcoming season, you being in your next 17th season and also being able to average what you averaged last year, All-NBA third team. What have you personally said to yourself that you want to really accomplish in actually this upcoming year?
I mean, there's no secret. I think we all are trying to accomplish the same thing individually. Like I've accomplished everything. You know, so many teams in this league is we're trying to win a champ. Like there's only a handful who has a real opportunity. You know, it's a couple factors that plays into that. Obviously, you gotta be good enough. Like straight up, you gotta be good enough, and then you gotta be healthy.